It's mock draft season, baby. It's the season of the mock draft. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pull Up Trey podcast. I'm your co-host, Samson Folk. I am joined by Trevon Heath. I'm joined by newcomer Nabeel, first of the season, and I'm joined by S, of course, Trey, still the Trey that pulls up. We're doing a mock draft, everybody, so we are selecting either all the way to 19 or the full first round. I guess it depends how we're doing, and we're going to be talking about, after that, all of our favorite options at pick 19. So if you're just a regular NBA fan and you want some of that fodder for draft season, that mock draft stuff, we have that for you. If you're a Raptors fan, we'll have lots of Raptors stuff during and, of course, backloaded. Everything will be time-stamped at the end of this. I'll go back and do that. Trey, first thing I'll ask you, how are you doing? And we'll go around the horn like that.
I'm doing wonderful. We're back in the swing of things. 24 hours before we find the next savior of this great franchise. It's a good day to be alive.
God bless. S, how you doing?
Dude, I am honored to be on Nabeel's first podcast. Holy smokes, that's awesome. That just makes me smile ear to ear. So I'm doing very, very well. Excited for this.
Nabeel, the podcast fresh out of the wrapper. How's it feel?
Man, this mic life is good, man. I was on podcast game like I was playing on in 2003, man, with some old school tech. I'm glad I upgraded, but
Yes.
Honored to be here. First pod of the cycle. It was the night before the NBA draft, NBA draft eve. And they finally allowed me to come on, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever in the comments was waiting. They allowed, and because it's been questioned in the past of my draft misses, allow me to formally go through it and say they allowed the guy who told you the following players would be good to come on and talk about this draft. Jordan Hawkins, Marcus Sasser, Nick Smith Jr.,
Wow.
Colby Jones, and Devin Carter. Damn. There we go.
You were a big Devin Carter
record.
guy. I remember that.
I was a Devin Carter guy.
Yeah.
He's got to come home, baby. You got to let it ride, Devin. You got to let it ride. Okay, so for listeners, we are going in the order of myself, S, Trey, and Nabeel. As far as I understand it, that puts Trey in position. This is S's math, so if it's wrong, it's wrong. This puts Trey in position to select for the Raptors. He's the brave man. He'll be doing it. Nabeel will also be intermittently fighting back against the perception of certain prospects that he heard on this podcast over the course of the cycle when he makes his selections. And myself and S, I think, just here for a good time. I'll also say, for Raptors Republic listeners, do you know how lucky you are that S could just hop on something like this? This is a world-renowned basketball speaker.
What are you talking about?
And today I was feeling very thankful. I saw S tweet something. I just thought to myself, like, he's so good at his job. He's so professional. And Raptors fans, you just get this guy do every game, film room, hops on a podcast. He represents your wants at the biggest level, the Athletic NBA Daily Podcast. That's enough, though.
Yeah.
Well, I was feeling
a little bit of gas. Okay.
I thought about it today.
Graham.
S. I thought about it today. How great it is. How great you are at this job. With that said, it's me. I'm going to be doing the first pick. It's up to me. And I know exactly where I'm going with it. Does anybody remember where the first pick, what team has it? Can somebody tell me this big news? Anybody?
Washington Wizards.
Baker, the Washington Wizards are on the clock. And the Washington Wizards select Cam Boozer, freshman out of Duke, with the first overall pick to put together a malleable, talented front court that can be used with a now heftily paid Trae Young. Does anybody have any thoughts? Is this surprising for anybody?
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Because considering their front court is already so stacked and they're paying AD $50 million, I assume they want someone to slot into their backcourt and play with Trae. But like Boozer is a smart player. I don't doubt that he wouldn't figure it out also.
2022, man. 2022 NBA draft. It would be cool if this happens like 24 hours beforehand. the pick changes. You know, a lot of people remember Jabari Smith Jr. was supposed to go to the Orlando Magic, and it changed. So maybe this happens here on draft night too. Cam Boozer #1 would be insane.
Insane. Well, to me, it spells an Anthony Davis trade. And for anybody listening, we're not doing fake trade. I understand there probably will be trades on draft night, so in some sense, it's realistic to do them. But the idea that we could actually conjure up a trade that will happen is beyond the pale, I think. Nabeel, what do you think about Cam Boozer going to the Wizards before we get out of here?
Listen, man, I think you took it right from Trey. Analytics and science go hand in hand. Big science. If it was him, he would have taken it. Don't let them fool you.
There's no way Trey was taking him #1. 0.
No chance.
Not a chance.
Man. Not a chance. in the world.
I think AJ DeBonce is going to be the pick, and within 2 weeks we will have a Jamaican Finals MVP, and the first pick overall will be from Jamaica.
That's true. I think Boozer. I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think it's been the sentiment for most of this cycle and throughout the college season. Like, I don't think you can go wrong. I really think it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and I like Boozer, man. Like, really smooth game, really high IQ, high feel. Makes a lot of sense to me for the Wizards. I hope Bake is happy. I hope our dear friend Baker is happy.
Yeah. All right, S, you're on the clock, brother, as the Utah Jazz. Do you have your pick?
I do.
Let it right. I wonder if people get sick of having this like 30 times.
No, it's good production value, bro. It's good production value. Okay. With the second pick in the NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select AJ DeBonce from BYU. Wow. Makes sense. Utah prep guy, BYU. They've been scouting this guy since he was like 4 years old. It just makes sense for AJ to be the pick. And honestly, I love him on the wings. I think it would make a lot of sense next to Keontae George and Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler if they end up re-signing him. Just kind of like completes that group. Ace Bailey, of course. I like Collier. Completes their group in a major way and gives them this massive wing that can create a bunch. So, yeah, AJ DeBonce.
They have so many guys there. Obviously, we don't know who will actually be picked, but whoever they pick, their roster is starting to look like they got so many guys there. Trey, do you think that Utah, the Mormons going with Jamaica, does that feel right to you?
I think Danny Ainge sprints to make this pick. If AJ falls to them, they have a wing with like rare skills. And they're put in a position where they have like this glut of prospects that they can use to fill out the gaps of this team, which is like a start of like something really good.
Does Nabeel, do you think this puts Ace Bailey at any risk? Arius Bailey?
I always viewed Ace as like a weak side rim protecting like 4 that has like, you know, obviously unreal upside, you know, with a shot making ability.
Wow.
But quite honestly, I also think like I know they traded for Jaren, and you know there's a nice sort of mini core going there with Jaren, Lowry, and you know depending on how you feel about Keontae there. But I think Utah, quite honestly, like they do have to put some wins up and really improve, especially with the new lottery reform. But you know, I don't think they could consider Ace's sort of standing and his needs and what have you. With a pick like this, I think you got to go best player available, and it's got to be AJ DeBonce.
I feel like Ace has now gone the other way after 1 year. Like instead of going big forward, maybe weak side rim protector, he's like more of a 2. Like he just, I don't know, maybe that's just offensively, but
it's so rare for a guy to get this guy is a 4 and then to go to a 2. I don't even know if I've heard of that before. Even Kevin Durant, they're like, this guy's not a 2.
This guy's not a 2. Yeah, that's true.
But I think
he is 6'9", so it's like it's hard.
Yeah, he's got measurements, man. Trey, it's to you, brother. Are you ready? On the clock is the Memphis Grizzlies. And the funny thing is, it's not even, that's the NFL draft jingle, not even the NBA.
It's elite. The Memphis Grizzlies select Darren Peterson. Absolute no brainer.
So can I ask, I know Nabeel is very into it. So a lot of people say he's one of the best guard prospects in like years and years and years. How does that pass your sniff test?
You asking me or Trey? My bad.
Nabeel, yeah, you.
Oh, I think so. My exposure to Darren Peterson was really like a very early highlight mixes, like throughout high school, and then obviously like what happened at Kansas. Weird, very difficult situation, injuries, all the stuff that's been like reported on quite well. But I think the biggest thing that sticks out to me about him is just I know there's like a lot of people who really obsess about movement, and I think just the fluidity of movement into his dribble package, into his jumper, the way he can get to the rim. Obviously, it didn't look like he was 100% at Kansas, but if you watch the high school stuff, just put on any 2-minute highlight tape, like it's so easy to get seduced in a league where everyone wants special movers and everyone wants elite guard play. And I think like the upside of that is just so tantalizing with him.
Trey, any other thing to hammer home with your pick at number 3?
I think the Grizzlies will be in a good position to move away from Ja, and they have. If you put both him and Coward together, you have this big backcourt that can both shoot, pass, and dribble. Paired with Zach Edey, they're in a position where like this rebuild could be like very quick. It could be done in like a year or two.
What's your sniff test on Mr. Peterson?
He would be awesome. I would take him with the first overall pick. I think he's.
You would have took him number 1?
I would have, yeah.
Wow.
I think he's the best of the bunch. He's just insane when you watch him. To the fluidity and the movement that Nabs was just talking about, like how he's able to control his speed and play at the speed that he plays at is ridiculous. He kind of like levitates on the court when he's at his best. It's pretty cool to watch. So yeah, I would take Darren Peterson number 1, and so getting him at 3 for Memphis would be a huge win in my opinion.
Well, why didn't you take him number 2 then?
Because I think like between AJ kind of just makes more sense for Utah than Darren. But I wouldn't be surprised if they take Darren Peterson. I think AJ just like completes that group a little bit more. They clearly, and I'm not saying that they need to draft based on need, but just I think they would value a 6'9" forward to put next to their group a little bit more than adding another ball handler next to Keontae. Maybe they don't believe in Keontae as much and they're like, screw it, we'll take Darren Peterson. But I don't know. I think it's just a testament to maybe how much they believe in Keontae George, who is a favorite of yours.
Yeah. We had a comment from Phoenix Plays E that says Grady over Keontae, by the way. Or G******. Who knows what that name could be. And also Will Smith says, seems like Grady's going to be traded this offseason in that Grange piece. I don't know. There's lots of stuff going around about Grady currently. Some of it, yeah, anyway. So I believe it's to you, Nabeel, as the Chicago Bulls, a former Mackay team, kind of no longer. He left them in the dust. By the way, this podcast is a presentation of TuneBet Online Sportsbook and Casino. I forgot to say it, everybody, but we have it here now. Nabeel, as the Chicago Bulls, are you ready for the 4th pick?
I am indeed. As my secondary team, my cousins live in Chicago, so support them. But with the 4th overall pick, the Chicago Bulls will select Allen Graves. No, I'm kidding. We're going with Caleb Wilson, baby. We're going with Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson out of the University of North Carolina.
Nice. What's the pitch?
Look, I think first and foremost, before you even get to the on-court stuff, I mean, that guy's been knocking it out of the park with interviews, and like, I follow the college season, and you talk to UNC fans or like people that are plugged in at that program, and it's like he completely shifted the culture of that program. He brought the aura as the kids say these days. He really just changed the complexion of UNC as like one of their most exciting prospects, and he's been saying that sort of the interview presser that he's been doing that, like, look, I'm going to change your culture. And then when you look at the on-court stuff, I mean, offensively, there's a lot of tools there. He was a ferocious dunker, could get to the paint, finish above size, finish above length. There's definitely some touch there. You think that, maybe a mid-range, potentially a 3-point jump shot could develop there. He showed off some playmaking ability, especially in the mid-post as well. Defensively, I think, look, like it is going to be a work in process. I think the defense was quite overrated, especially on ball. But I think with a guy with his work ethic and character and his motor, I think you just bet on him figuring it out. And let's change the Bulls culture, baby.
The defensive stuff, I think. Now, nobody is Scotty, and Scotty's nobody, and no two players are alike. But in the way that OG and Scotty both have these super long limbs, they don't have a lot of bend at the hip. Those two guys figured out in different ways how to use their body and their athleticism to become obviously different defenders, but both great defenders. And the hope with Caleb, despite not having a lot of bend in his hips or his knees, quite frankly, is that he'll just have his talents manifest in some way that works for him. And that's not dissimilar to the pitch on a lot of like forwards and wings. It is saying these guys will use their inherent size and more fluidity than front court players to figure something out. And that's why wings bust more often, but it's also why they can elevate into all-NBA status just on a whim, seemingly. Does anybody else have any thoughts on Caleb Wilson before we go back to Nabeel? And it is actually good that you got the Clippers pick since you prayed. Oh, brother, did you pray for this? Any other Caleb Wilson believers?
I'm a huge fan. He's like a ferocious athlete. I think a lot of his game is still up in the air, especially like how is he going to create in the NBA and how is he going to score in the half court. But I think the fact that one, he's like a super explosive athlete and like plays with strength and physicality. He's often like finishing through people. And like I know with him and like Bruce Ellis, there's like going to be overlap there, but they can really play these really funky lines where they have guys that can dribble, play up tempo, and like utilize their length. So I think there'll be a cool team.
I think they'll be like one of the best transition teams in the NBA next year with how good Giddey is at pushing the pace and how great Modest and Caleb should be in transition. I'm kind of curious because they have another pick here in the lottery too, like which direction they go, actually outside of the lottery, but which direction they go with that because they could add to that. But there's a lot of athleticism in that range. So
it's in our hands, brother. We'll decide where they go. I don't know who will right off the top of my head, but deciding where the Clippers go via Indiana, Nabeel, the hubris of the Indiana front office to think they could get away with it. Who are the Clippers picking at number 5, Nabeel? Do you have it in you?
I can see the Kevin Pritchard apology tour already, but with the 5th pick in the 2026 Raptors Republic mock draft, the Los Angeles Clippers will select Michael Brown Jr. from the University of Louisville.
I like it.
Why him above these other guards who are like Keaton is probably on most people's boards higher. Acuff would be for some. Kingston would be for some. Why is he, outside of Peterson, the first guard popping off in this draft?
So I'm going with Michael over Acuff, Wellings, Wagler's. I know Wagler is a popular slotted pick in a lot of mocks right now. And maybe we can get to it whenever he does go, whoever ends up picking him in this mock, but I'm lower on Wagler than most, and I guess we can table that part for when he's ultimately selected. But I think with Michael, I think he has the length and foundational size to at least be like an average or passable defender. I think there is some good tape on there, particularly with his screen nav ability to get up to par to NBA to get up to par to an NBA caliber defender at least. And then look. What do you want? You want paint touches, you want a guy who can get up and throw it down, and you want a guy who has an absolute heater of a pull-up jumper, and Michael Brown has all of that in spades. He has the off-ball, on-ball utility. He has a lightning-quick first step. He can split doubles. He's got like the nice tween cross you like to see in those highlight packs. He can pull up. He can throw it down, like I said. I think he's just the whole package of what you want in a really dynamic offensive guard in today's NBA. And, just that and plus the potential on defense, I'd put him above the rest of the guards in terms of upside.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else? Any other Brown believers in here?
I know Trey is. I'll just say, from a Raptors perspective, he would be so sick on this team.
Oh, my God, yeah.
He would be awesome for the Raptors. It's the perfect type of guard that they're looking for in terms of, like Nab said, a heat pump from 3, but also be able to create a bunch, has passing vision. It's just, they don't have the 5th pick, so it's not possible. But, yeah, this would be the perfect type of guard for them for sure.
Well, I think if I can say, Jakob Poeltl was traded for what ended up being the 8th pick, and he's arguably better now than he was then. In case the Clippers want to get another good big man in-house after they lost Zubac.
Another European big, why not?
Yep,
Yeah.
the transitive property. It's going crazy. Trey, any thoughts on Brown?
This is the pick that I would make, especially if you're going to do this rebuild with Darius Garland. You're going to want a bigger guard that can get physical, that be able to get downhill. He has the tools to be a really good defender, and he is a big time. He's one of the best athletes. He has a chance to be the best player in this draft. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a pitch. I guess it swings back to you, Trey. The Clippers, they selected. The Brooklyn Nets, I saw reports they were talking to Mr. Keaton, but any thoughts on who you are selecting as the Brooklyn Nets?
The Brooklyn Nets, select Darius Acuff, Arkansas.
Yeah, I saw this one coming.
Yeah. They got Jalen Brunson. We got Darius Acuff. I think
there it is.
With Acuff, you're getting the best pure scorer in this entire class. He can score off the dribble. He can get in the lane. He has a really good last step in terms of getting into the lane. He isn't the biggest time athlete, but it has a really good way of weaving his way there with pacing as well as strength. He is, in terms of engaging with contact and using it to separate, he's the best amongst all the guards in the class. The defense, not there at all. I think the reason I buy in and want to take him a lot higher is Trae Young doesn't have the requisite tools, even if he bought in a little bit more, to be a good defender. Darius Acuff is going, by the time he's playing, he's in his prime, he's going to be 210, probably 215, and have a 6'7" wingspan. He has the actual tools to be a good defender in the league. And John Calipari said he's the best amongst his guards. And Kentucky and Arkansas have both had a crazy amount of talent there, so I trust the man.
He's a beefy boy. And there was that report that he's always the first one in the gym. So he would, if he were on the Noah board, he would have been higher up than a lot of Raptors, I guess, if he was putting up shots, etc. Anybody else? Any Acuff thoughts? Or do you have any other Acuff truthers? Some people believe he's the best guard in the draft. That's okay. That's then obviously.
I'll just say, like, similar to Fears last year, I just think I understand the defense could be disastrous. Like, I totally understand that with Acuff. But similar to Fears last year, I just think the offensive upside is just way too appealing and attractive that I'm willing to take the risk at this stage in the draft, especially if I'm the Nets. I mean, look, let's be real. Sean Marks is out of there if this doesn't work out anyways. I think this is pretty much it for him. So swing for the fences, baby. Let's do it.
Swing for the damn fences. S, any thoughts on Acuff?
Yeah, I think he's awesome. I think he's really cool. He can create separation. He's just a very, very cool basketball player. And I agree with Trey that, like, he could very well be the best guard in this draft when it's all said and done. He's very, very good at basketball. I'm very excited to see his career. And yeah, you're right. They got Jalen Brunson. We got Acuff. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. S, you were a huge champion of the Light the Beam Kings when they were coming along. You loved that team. You've got a chance now with the number 7 pick to take them back to an era of glory. Who is it gonna be?
All right, the Sacramento Kings will take Braden Burries, the Arizona Wildcats guard. This would be a pretty tough board for the Kings with Acuff and Michael Brown gone, because I think those two guys just match players you can kind of like build around more than Wagler, Kingston Flemings, or Braden Burries, who are like the next guards available at that group. If I were the Kings, I would be hoping one of Acuff or Michael Brown drop to me at 7. But kind of like the consolation prize here would be Burries, who is a wicked defender. They could use those in Sacramento. I think he proved that he could score in Arizona, big time like shot maker. So I'm counting Braden Burries as a guy for Sacramento, just like a solid piece who does have some upside, does have some potential to get even better in the scoring department. So Braden Burries.
I hardly watched any Burries. I'm not super familiar with his game. Nabeel, I know you have some thoughts on the young man.
I think Trey. I mean, when you give your opinion, but I believe Trey's a big fan too. But yeah, I love Burries, man. He plays bigger than his size. He's one of those guards that gets on the glass, can push it in transition, makes the right play, has pull-up shooting ability, and defends. It's kind of almost like a supercharged Christian Braun in a sense that like you could see him early on contributing to a team and playing really good minutes, but obviously with the jump shot and some of the other ancillary offensive skills, like more upside than a guy like Braun, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, Burries is a joy to watch, especially in transition, and underrated athlete too. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good of an athlete
he is. A stupid athlete. Yeah. It's actually kind of fun to watch. Anyways, yeah, I like Burries.
Give us the science.
Humongous fan. Every team is looking for a two guard that plays like Burries. He's 6'5", 215, can operate as a point guard and run second side sets if you ask him to. He's a great shooter that shoots off the bounce, off the catch, and in taking advantage, extending advantages is something that he did a lot in Arizona next to, forgot what their senior guard name is. Doesn't
Jaden
matter.
Bradley.
But Jaden Bradley, yes. He played beside him most of the season in terms of lineups. And what he can do defensively, like with his actual size, makes the lineup versatility so easy because at Arizona, they asked him to play guys larger than him because of his size and also guard the main point of attack in their defense. It would like for the Raptors, they've been looking for this player for quite a long time. Like that's why I wanted VJ Edgecombe. CMB worked out great, but this sort of player is the type of player that plays in the playoffs and plays tons of minutes.
Wins championships. Yep.
Wins championships. We'll see. We'll find out in about 14 years if that was true. Or by the end of 14 years. We'll be pretty definitive on it. That means it falls to me. And if I'm the Hawks right now, I tell you what, I am overjoyed as a Hawk to select Kingston Flemings because I think not only is he a guy who can develop into truly a lead guard for a team, but how good to develop under CJ, how good to develop next to Nah, how good to have Dyson Daniels to take matchups, how good to work with Jalen Johnson, Onyeka, even like there's just a lot going there that it's a great environment for a great young guard to step into. And Kingston Flemings is obviously capable in almost every facet of if you want a guard to do something. When I was talking to Jay Kyle-Mann, who was very early on the Tyrese Halliburton of it all, he said that Kingston is the most similar to Tyrese in terms of driving the game forward, doing things like that. Wow. And I tend to agree. He's pretty masterful in terms of running an offense. And Atlanta is a team that, if you look at it right now, obviously Jalen Johnson could stand to lose some of his offensive diet and readjust to putting more of that work offensively. And Kingston is a guy who could take the ball and produce looks for him constantly, and you can get that better equilibrium from your stars. So that, to me, is like an unbelievable fit in terms of those two teams. Anybody thoughts on Kingston as a Hawk?
I think it's a home run. I would take Fleming earlier than Nate. He's one of the only guards outside of Burries that you can ask to be a good defender pretty early. At Houston, we have Jamal Shed. In Houston, they ask guys to press, and they ask their guys to play very aggressive. I think what I like about Fleming is off the ball, he's a really good playmaker as well. He has a good understanding of space and a good understanding of his actual assignment in rotation. And having a guy that can be this lightning quick paint touch for like all the athletes that Atlanta has around them. As a Raptor fan, it's not that nice, but for them, like they can take a real good jump just with this pick.
Do you guys think they will draft a guard? Because they've been mocked to get Mara so much. So I'm just curious whether you guys think they actually take a guard.
Good question.
If they want to put the ball in Jalen Johnson's hands, I will be very grateful for eternity. But I don't think that's what they should do.
Yeah. I think Kingston is obvious he should be gone by 8. And if they let him go,
I agree.
Go ahead, Nabeel.
No. I agree with you. I was just gonna say that I'm lower on Mara than most, and I'll get to that too whenever he is picked on this, like what my problems with him are. But I wouldn't hate it at this pick, but like I'm with Samson and the rest of the group. Like Kingston would be a homer, and I think he's great value at 8. Rim, if you're an analytics guy, Rim and 3 assists, 3-point assists. I mean, he gets that in spades. And I'd also like to point out that like he didn't play in the best. I know spacing and context and like more space of the NBA is a very cop out thing when you're talking about draft analysts. I really think that is true with Kingston Flemings. I mean, Houston's not about an offense, and they play with JoJo Tugler and sometimes Sanak and whatever in the paint. So, you know, there really wasn't much space for him to operate, and he still got to the paint. So
the stat that David Lee gave about Sanak finishing above 80% at the rim when Kingston was on the floor and sub 50 when he was off the floor is like that stat almost sells me on it. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a Jamal Shed stat right there.
You know what I mean? You know. Taco Take says that's a great fit. Flemings would give the Hawks a source of reliable penetration half court. JJ half court hoops is a tragedy. That comes after Phoenix saying, "Is Jalen Johnson good at basketball?" Yes, Jalen Johnson is good at basketball. However, letting wings run offense for cheapies is not going to give you everything you need. We have a wing who avoids the cheapies at all costs in Scotty Barnes and only wants the Hardee's when that's a fast food chain. Sponsor
Harvey's.
No, Hardee's is Carl's.
no, Hardee's
American.
is. That's right.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
American.
It's an American
Yeah.
chain.
You guys are making
Boss,
stuff
bro.
up.
You got
making
you
stuff up. This is propaganda.
Yeah, exactly. Joseph also says David had some gems. David Lee was an excellent guest. That's correct. Okay, I think it's back to me with the Mavericks. Okay,
Yes,
this
sir.
one actually, who would I pick if I were the Mavericks?
So
They're
this is
trying to get rid
interesting.
of Gafford. I'd like a round table. Tell me this, Nabeel.
No. I'm not going to tell you who to. I don't want to take away this pick from you. I just want to say that given recent news today, this pick has become infinitely more interesting to me. For those who may or may not know, they just hired Michigan's head coach Dusty May, and there are 3 players still on the board that you could draft with this pick. So there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's go crazy. Let's get crazy, people. At number 9, the Dallas Mavericks select Hans Steinbach.
Wow.
Washington.
That's the
I love
shock
this.
so
Wow.
far.
I love
Okay.
this.
What do you want for your wing-led offense? You want big men who help facilitate things, make things easier, and you want a guy who can... I just said it the other day. I was like, man, Ryan Anderson was a sick player, and Steinbach could give you a lot of things that Ryan Anderson used to. He was big in Texas, by the way, and New Orleans. But Hans obviously is going to get on the glass. He's going to help do the possession maxing is the conversation that was going around. He can drive the basketball. He can finish with both hands. And I believe that the shot will be there. I also think he's just like a good athlete at that size. And if this lets you know, if he fell to 19, ooh, I'm on it, baby. But Hans Steinbach, I know it's a bit of a shocker. Nesta was asking for shockers earlier, so there's one. Is anybody feeling German right now?
Wow.
Dankeschön. Anybody? Anybody?
I
love
like
it.
Hans. Or Hannes. As they
Hannes.
say.
Hannes.
Hannes Steinbach. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be available at 19, y'all. Like, if this is the consideration we're getting, and you see all of the mock drafts, there are so many teams that could use a big like him before 19. That just makes it. He would be a great pick at that spot, but I just don't see him being available. I mean, even the fact that you picked him at 9. I bet you there are evaluators who rate him highly as well, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, also he had buzz as a top 10 guy before the season. I don't pay close enough attention to know why he fell, according to some people. But also we have a trade suggestion, which we won't be doing. But it says Masai is going to trade for 9 for 12 and 17 with Mara still there for OKC and Burry's gone. Then go Merez 12 and one of the Peachies at 17. Watch. Here's your spotlight. Maybe it happens. Come back to this moment if it's true. But also, if they go and they make that trade, they might even be able to get Hans at 12 rather than Merez. Yeah. Although Merez is like, he's very compelling. Taco Takes, Abdel says, Hornets at the 5. How comfortable are we with him protecting the rim? Coop has some secondary rim protection, but with the offensive load, feel like that hasn't been flashed yet on defense. Yeah, it's why Trey was bang on when he said that CMB was the best defender coming out of the draft instead of Cooper. And it's also why I would love Hans on the Raptors, because you have CMB and Scotty there. And but anyway, that's my selection. At number 10. Wait, does anybody else have any thoughts before we?
Do you guys
move
think
on?
Hans can shoot? By the way, do you guys believe in the jump shot?
I don't believe in the.
Go.
I don't believe in the mechanics, but he has really good touch, very soft touch.
He does,
and
yeah.
the indicators say that he should be able to shoot. I was going to take him at 11, so I don't know why I yelled. I was shocked, but I think he's a good player. If I'm the Mavericks, I would try to make it work with Derek Lively and see what that looks like at least.
Yeah,
And try to get
that's what Abdel is talking about in the comments. Okay, that is number 9. Number 10, the Milwaukee Bucks. It is back to you, Mr. Esfandiar.
Yeah.
What are you going with?
I'm gonna get another guy who sounds like he has a German name. Oh, I like that little switch
That was
up.
pretty
Very
well
nice.
timed.
That was pretty good.
It's pretty well
That was
timed.
great.
Keaton Vogler, sounds like he has. If he drops to 10, I would be pretty surprised if the Bucks didn't take him. Just because he's a guy you can kind of like bet on the tools. Big guard who has wild range, can shoot it from deep. There's obviously defensive questions. There's questions of just like how much his defense and athleticism will be able to, kind of like keep him in the league. But I think the bet on offense and the bet on how explosive he is as an offensive player, and the bet on size, like I'm looking at it right here, he's like 6'5" with a 6'7" wingspan. Like that's pretty good. So I think at this point, at the 10th pick, they would be laughing because a lot of people are mocking him at like 5 and 6. So
Yeah.
Keaton
He had that comment about with the Nets, and I can't remember, maybe it was the Kings or the Clippers, I can't remember, but he was like, yeah, I felt really great, so I'm just not doing any more workouts.
Yeah.
Also, there's a comment from Mike asking about a potential trade for Miles Turner. We'll talk about that at the end. Anybody else? Thoughts on Vogler?
Yep. I think it's a home run. He's a guy that can really shoot it. He's going to have an opportunity. Giannis will most likely not be on this team when he plays his first NBA game, where he's going to get a lot of NBA minutes and a lot of reps, and his like lack of like physical strength and athleticism, he gets to learn and play through that with probably his first like 2 or 3 years in the NBA, which is the ideal situation for him.
Nabeel, anything?
Yeah, I had mentioned earlier that I was lower on Keaton Vogler, I think, or Vogler, as we're going with the German pronunciation. I would also like to say that the second best diehard villain in this draft after Hans Steinbach.
Yeah,
the only
for
thing
sure.
stopping him from NBA upside is John McClane, whoever's old enough to get that joke. But yeah, Keaton Vogler. Yeah, I think my biggest thing with him and my concerns. I know S mentioned the defense. That's definitely it, especially on ball. I think off ball he can hang. Just on ball, I think the technique, navigating screens, and just like his step slide when he's sort of, hip swiveling and sliding over the guy at the point of attack and chesting. I think that needs work. And while him getting stronger will help, I don't think it's just a strength thing with him. I think there's some technique work there too. I think the other thing with him too is he does have good pace and stride length, and like his hang dribble cross is really nice. So like there is a foundational handle there. I'm not saying he doesn't have a handle. I think his counters when his first move does not work are literally a spin move or a step back. And I just think if the people who have him top 5, or like I'm taking him above Acuff, Michael Brown, all these other guards that we hold in high regard and that have a lot of, excitement around them. I just think the handle's got to come. Like you got to have more counters than that. The NBA defenders are just too good, and especially if you see him as a full-time creator at the 1. I think if you see him as like a wing, a more of like a Josh, or not Josh Giddey, but like more of like a wing that can moonlight as your primary, but is way better sort of in like a secondary creator. I think that would be the ideal role for him. But those are the reasons why I'm lower on him than consensus.
Yeah, I see the conversations around point guards is really, really getting to a point where there's an expectation for a certain number of them to run offense and to maintain pace. But sometimes I think the analysis does come down to how good are you at getting a bucket out of the closet that Harry Potter grew up in? And I mean, if like Jalen Brunson is not really responsible for that much pace and organizing, like they get it from a lot of different frameworks offensively. But I tell you what, when they needed it, whether the shot went in or not, he was like, I will take that, and I will do something with it. Trey, I know S isn't here, but I don't think he'll be too heartbroken to miss out on this. Brother, the Golden State Warriors.
The 4-time champions, Golden State Warriors. I hate when they start that beginning. Select Yaxel Lendenberg from Michigan. I think this is one of the cleanest fits in the entire draft. They have a gaping hole along the wing with Jimmy Butler, and you have a guy that can pass, shoot, dribble, defend at a really high level, played in a system that asked you to make live dribble reads and feed bigs and make reads to guards in the corner, exactly what the Golden State Warriors asked all of their wings to do. And it's a system that hasn't been kind to young players. So drafting someone that has played in a system that's similar, can operate at a high level from year one, makes a lot of sense, and can play with Draymond.
Before I swing it to you, Nabeel, I'll say Trey and I covered Yaxel on the podcast last year. We really, really wanted him to stay in the draft because we thought there was maybe a great Samson impression, Lord. We thought maybe there was a possibility that the Raptors could buy a pick and get him later. He was a guy who was definitely rising in the process, but obviously he took the NIL bag and then is probably, I think, going to be, if not in the top 14, top 17, probably guaranteed. And everything that you said, Trey, we've been fans of his game, but you really laid it out there. Nabeel, how do you feel about, he has to fit on your villain name list, right? Certainly.
Listen, man, if Hannes and honorary mention Wagler were the diehard villains, the Bond villain is Yaxel Lendenberg. Definitely some nuclear physicist that went rogue, and now MI6 has a whole workup on him, man. I can just hear it. I played a lot of 007 First Light this past month, so I'm definitely a little influenced there. But no, man, I remember your guys' draft content covering Yaxel. You guys were huge fans. Josh was a really, really big fan. Shout out to him. I tend to have, like, one of my, I guess, biases for scouting and like general evaluation of players is, like, I do have a conference bias, and like that'll come into another flare later on as I've teased with you guys. But I thought he was super talented. I think I just needed to see it against, like, some semblance of real competition. He decided to go back after testing the draft process and getting feedback, and like he balled the hell out. Like, yeah, I love this pick. I will say, I think the shooting is a little streakier than the numbers would indicate. And like, if he's not that good of a shooter, then I can totally see where like the upside's a little capped here. But like the transition stuff, the defense, the passing, I mean, that's all legit. And he did it and won a title or a championship in college. And yeah, I love this picture.
Yaxel to the Warriors. Thoughts?
Old man on old team makes sense. No, I'm just...
Yeah.
But
that's
hey,
kind of the short of Trey's longer explanation, honestly.
It makes sense because if the Warriors are still trying to compete around Steph Curry, which they should be, then this is the guy for them to add a rotation player to at the very least at year one. And then hopefully, like Nabeel said, like maybe be able to squeeze out that extra bit of potential for him, So this makes sense for me. Yaxel makes a lot of sense here. But it seems like, by the way, on the whole like mock consensus front, that he seems like a guy who's sliding. So I'd be interested to see if he ends up out of the lottery, which would be interesting.
The mockers told me Perry Jones the third was going top 5, man. Like the mock sentiment. It's not. Scalabissier was gonna go 8th. It didn't happen, man. And
man,
Pascal
I wanted
Siakam.
that. Oh.
Yeah, people wanted him instead of like Jakob, and then he came back around. Everyone's like, Scal. But anyway, okay, Nabeel, it falls to you, brother. You are now the Oklahoma City Thunder. You are Sam Presti. Do you have a Sam Presti impression? You might have one in the bag.
No, I haven't heard Presti talk enough, man. But all right. The Oklahoma City Thunder with the 12th pick in the 2026 Raptors Republic mock draft. The Oklahoma City Thunder select Morez Johnson Jr.
Easy,
Yep.
Easy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So this means that there's like not much of a chance for or Dusty May to get one of his Michigan fellas. They keep disappearing fast. But why Morez, Nabeel?
I think the movement skills are really freaky. Like if Jaden Quaintance, who a lot of people have, if you watch his high school stuff, for like his first year at Arizona last year, if he's like the freakiest mover at the top, then I think Morris Johnson is second. I'll be honest. So I watched a lot of Illinois for Yaku last year, and Morris Johnson was on that team. It's freshman big. I got to be honest, like there were games where I'd watch him and I'd be like, man, I understand the physicalities and the athleticism, but like offensively, I hated his process. I thought it was like a really frustrating watch at times. And when he transferred to Michigan, I was kind of like, all right, I don't understand this fit because like they got Mara, they got Yaxel, and then like Morez was in there too. So I'm like, how on earth are they going to make this work? And man, he improved so much. Like the decision making in the paint, the footwork, the patience, showing touch off glass, improved as a free throw shooter. I think I don't think he'll be a great shooter. I think he'll be streaky at best personally. But honestly, like if we believe in the defensive upside as much as we do, I think he can be a streaky shooter, man. I think that guy will be able to play all different types of coverages in the pick and roll. He can be a great weak side rim protector. I don't know if he'll be able to anchor as much, but I totally think you'll be able to play him and Chet together. And yeah, I really love the fit.
Yeah, what do you, I guess, because you liked Sorber a lot last year, if I remember correctly, right, S? What do you make of Sorber and, because Abdel is talking about Sorber besides Morez. What do you think about that? Or just the fit, I guess, in general?
I think it'd be cool. I think Sorber can like do the dribble handoff stuff and the playmaking stuff that I don't think Morez will be capable of doing at least year one. And then connection wise, you know, there's sort of a potential for one of those guys to develop into shooters. And I think Sorber is so long that with the versatility of Morez, you can make a pretty interesting front court defensively. That would be a lot of fun with Morez just kind of like switching and causing a bunch of havoc around the perimeter, and then Sorber kind of being your rim protector there. I think that would be a lot of fun. Hopefully Sorber's healthy. I did like him a lot in the draft last year, so get to see him play in OKC.
Any Morez thoughts, Trey?
I think every pick that the Thunder will make for the next few years will be, how does this affect Victor Wembanyama? And I think this is a guy that will. He's super switchable. He is active on the glass. He is able to. I do think he'll be able to shoot it to some degree from a spot up perspective, and his dribble for his size and position is high tier. There's upside for him to be a starting four-man that not only just plays with Chet, but actually like excels and takes advantages of some of the things that like spacing big like Chet would offer a team like him. Wow.
The Hoop Collective already did the OG comp for Morez. That shocks me a little bit. Nabeel,
he's like closer to like Precious than Morez, than OG, right? I mean, like size wise.
Well, we'll get Knicks Wolves 04 in here, and we'll see.
I was gonna say, man, you're doing the Bloody Mary summoning chant, man, with that with Precious there. Yes.
Nabeel, you are the
Yes,
Miami
sir.
Heat.
All right, we think they're keeping this pick if Boston's in the lead, yeah, for this Giannis deal. But
Sure. Unless you're gonna concoct a trade on the fly that fits, you know.
Oh man, I'm no Bill Simmons. I'm no trade machines are. But
There you go.
all right, with the 13th pick, the Miami Heat will select. Let's get weird, man. Nate Ament.
Are you doing this because you think he should go 13, or because you think that they get freaky?
I think they get freaky, and I think Miami's the kind of environment where like they trust their player development and talent identification, and this feels like everyone else is zigging, we're gonna zag. Like we got our guy. Like we're doing high five. They do the camera zoom in the war room when the pick is announced. They're all like high fiving and celebrating. Like everyone's totally not seeing it with this guy.
Even
I'm
if
not
this
a
is
huge,
Milwaukee, it might be a man.
100%.
That's the reporting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't watch high school tape, so like I don't know what these guys look like at the EYBL AAU. Okay, exactly. I can't do it, man. I'm not plugged in. These no synergy, no 2FA, man, no nothing like that, brother. We don't got it.
We made it 50 minutes without a synergy mention. Let's go.
I'm a man of the people, man. I gotta find my streams online and do it the old fashioned way. But obviously the college season wasn't great. I think this is a guy who like is like a very theoretical shoot, dribble, pass wing, but like the passing wasn't really there. The dribbling, he was afraid of contact, and like I think the shooting waxed and waned a little bit. So like from a college from the college production standpoint, like I get it. Like there's big concerns, but like I said, like I think this is just a Miami, like where we see the value, we see the upside. You guys don't. We know exactly what to do with him. And doesn't this feel like a guy we've all written off, and then like 5 years from now we're gonna look back and be like, what the hell did we miss? And it's like Miami didn't miss it.
Yeah,
this is why I wouldn't take him, because if these guys figure it out so late, well, if they figure it out so late, it's like
My last
we're like,
appearance on
oh
this pod.
man,
Don't be on your team.
This is it.
yeah, that's why I wouldn't. And he's a young man. His career is his own. His potential is his own. But I would, if I were the Heat, it wouldn't be my selection. But I'm not the Heat. Anybody else on a mint before we go to Trey? He got the Raptors and the Hornets. Can you believe it? Oh,
Let's go.
are we ready to go there?
Let's go. Let's do it. I'm excited for this pick, anyways.
All right.
Oh,
The mistress team.
with the 14th pick overall, my mistress team selects Adai Mara from
I
Michigan.
love it. This is it.
Oh, I think this is the best pick in the entire mock draft so far. You get bless Musa Diabati's heart. Like I love watching him play, but like he did not show he had the actual size to make it happen, especially in the play-in. You get a guy that can offer defensive resistance against some of the perimeter issues you have, like playing both LaMelo and Khan at the exact same time. You also have a guy that can also play make, and you can run actions so that you can actually have both LaMelo and Khan playing off the ball and creating havoc for the defense. I think his passing is one of his plus traits for a guy, especially that size, and having a big that large and such a target that in both in transition and in the half court for a passer like LaMelo Ball is like home run for this team.
Yeah, I think he helps a lot. There's this proof of concept of Kalkbrenner giving you a lot of like, oh, it's good to have a big guy stuff going on, but not all of it hit. And with Mara, despite being younger, I think younger than Kalkbrenner when he got drafted, I think that there's a lot that stuff becomes a little bit more active. That's my thoughts on Mara there. I think it's a very tidy fit. Anybody else? Bueller? Going once?
I think this would be sick. I think the Hornets will take a big at 14, and which one falls to them will be really interesting. Morez Johnson makes a lot of sense for them too. I just feel like, if the Raptors are thinking big with 19, the Hornets and the Thunder are going to pose some trouble for them with their double pick stuff, because they'll probably end up taking a couple of those bigs available. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, at this stage in the draft, like I know I mentioned I'm lower on Mara than most, but like I think is the best player available here, and you have to take him. This is tremendous value, great fit for the Hornets, especially with the way they want to play and what their deficiencies are and what they want to shore up. I guess the reason why I'm lower on him than most is because I just like my bigs to be physical, and I just think with the elite measurements he has and how big he is, like he's just not as physical as you think, and a lot of smaller bigs can give him a rough time. And then the other thing is, like, with that, if the half court dunking, the physicality isn't there, then like how valuable is the passing? It's still valuable. Like his vision's incredible. His touch on passes is great. But I just think that, like, you know, if that stuff holds true in the NBA, then like it could diminish the rest of his game. And that's really the main reasons that, you know, I'm lower on him.
Yeah. If you're a big man, you got to punch it. It's there's no ifs, ands, or buts. We're out of the lottery, people, which means that I have to tell you that this segment is a presentation of TuneBet Online Sportsbook and Casino. Thousands of slot games, live casino at your fingertips, and a sportsbook made for Ontario. Get your game on with TuneBet. TuneBet is licensed and regulated by the AGCO and iGaming Ontario, 19 plus Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Please play responsibly, I ask. So TuneBet has the predictions, or the bets, however it works for you, of the winner of the NBA title next season, Oklahoma City Thunder, plus 250. They are favored. San Antonio Spurs, plus 300. The Celtics, plus 400. And the defending champs, the New York Knicks, down at plus 750, followed by the Pistons and Nuggets at plus 1,700. There are other listings there. If you actually think you know who's going to win, you can win money. That's how betting works. If anybody's interested, go nuts. But again, please responsibly. We are out of the lottery and creeping ever closer to that Raptors pick at 19. We have, is it me? Who is it?
It's myself.
Oh, it's you.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
wait. Let me get the music ready. It's absolutely essential.
With the 15th pick in the 2026 Raptors Republic mock draft, the Chicago Bulls will take Jaden Quaintance. If we're stacking up on size, they just drafted Caleb Wilson. They have Modest Buzelis. I can't think of a better player, if healthy and if available and if living up to his potential, to kind of like backline and commandeer that defense than Jaden Quaintance. 6'9" with a 7'5" wingspan. That's stupid. That is just that doesn't even make sense. I think he'd be perfect. I think he makes sense for what they want, like athletically, and again, probably one of the best, if not the best. You guys know better than me, but like defenders in this class. So hopefully he's healthy. I think this is a bet on him being healthy, and like the health stuff makes sense. But 15, Jaden Quaintance going to the Chicago Bulls.
You can tell this is a Raptors mock draft, and everyone was disappointed that you took Quaintance. You know, we had
There's only room for one JQ on the Raptors, boys. There's only room for one JQ.
Yeah, that's funny to be. My thing with the Quaintance is I really like Quaintance, and if there was a team that was like, we should be able to hit on a guy just once, let us hit on a guy. The Bulls, they might deserve it. You know, there'd be people who argue why not, but Slow Moses says no way he goes that early with his medicals. If his medicals, you know, if somebody signs off or whatever happens, then he could. But I guess we'll only find out tomorrow. Anybody else? Quaintance thoughts?
I think one of these double pick teams are going to take him. Like if his medicals are a bit shaky, you have the opportunity of still having another pick that will contribute to the team right away, and have this guy that could be this potential like athletic freak and monster. I think if he was able to play this season, he probably goes in the top 10 of this draft.
I agree with you. Yeah. 100%.
Any other thoughts, Nabeel? I know you've seen an okay amount of them.
I love the swing. It's unfortunate with the medical stuff, but yeah, I think if this actually happens and Quaintance can play next season, Chicago would fly up my league pass rankings. I mean, Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, and Quaintance is like the lob windy city. There we go. There we go. I'm coining it. But yeah, no, it's this would be a really fun team. Wishing the best for Jaden Quaintance. I really hope the knee's good, and hope everything works out for him. But yeah, I like this pick.
So Darren Peterson is a Grizzly right now. Is that correct, Trey? He was drafted there. The funny thing is we're getting to the point of the draft where it probably some of these guards have to start getting off of the board. And I think with a jaw exodus potentially coming, who I will select on behalf of the Grizzlies at 16. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. Out of Alabama, LeBaron Philon to the Grizzlies at number 16. He is a darling scorer. A lot of people who love him think that he can fit into that. I'm going to be running things. And I think he and Darren Peterson, they play off of each other quite well if I'm projecting. Now, there are going to be questions about what they do defensively going forward. But I think that the offensive potential is absolutely gangbusters in terms of how those guys make it work. And the Memphis Grizzlies at number 16, LeBaron Philon. Trey, you look crestfallen.
I like the pick. I like that you're swinging. It makes this more interesting. Also, I think with the Baron, he offers second side dribble ability with Peterson. There's still some questions of whether Peterson is a 2 guard or a point guard, anyways. So that it could possibly work. And credit to Peterson. Like I think he's actually one of the better guard defenders in the entire class that he doesn't get credit for. So I think the actual combination could work fairly well, and you have 2 guys that can really shoot it, really create in like this new NBA that you're asking for 2 ball handlers.
Yes, you like Philon? Thoughts?
Yeah, this does make sense. Unfortunately, this does make sense. It feels like you said, with the Ja Morant exodus, eventually getting another dynamic guard who can get downhill and pressure the rim and hopefully eventually shoot better than Ja Morant did at the league level. Not saying he'll be that level of talent. Maybe he doesn't. But if he were to put it all together, I think he has a chance to be one of the best guards in this draft. Also has a chance to be a positive defender because that's what he did in his first year in college. If he can kind of put all that together, then sure, he's an awesome pick. And yeah, unfortunately, probably going before the Raptors at 19. Maybe not, though. Maybe this is us just swinging. But I do like it from the Grizzlies' perspective.
So before we go to Nabeel, Slow Moses says, Peterson went 3rd, and this is supposed to be knowledgeable people doing this. I hate to quote S, but this is us just swinging. I'm so sorry to let you know, but this is not the draft, man. I'm heartbroken to tell you. Nabeel, thoughts on Philon?
Let me tell you, pal, I've never received an e-transfer for my scouting knowledge. So this is what we got, man. And the terrible jokes will continue. Philon will make you look like a pylon.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
Philon,
I like it.
Philon.
There we go.
Philon.
Yeah, no,
We're in that age, you know. It's 30.
exactly. We gotta swing it. You guys covered it. Trey's been over it. Samson asked. You've discussed it on your pods as well with the Athletic. Like, we're all big fans of Philon here, and like really tremendous talent, self-creator. He's played 2 different roles now in college, from his freshman to sophomore year. So there's proof of concept. I like this pick a lot. Jealous it wasn't us. I know it hurt you, Trey, but we move.
There's you have an e-transfer offer in the chat, so just open that up, Nabeel. Make
please,
sure that no password
please.
is necessary.
Hey,
I'm still
Michael.
waiting for my mic to be reimbursed, man. I'll take any e-transfer I'll get, but
That's funny. That's like one of those
Our
messages you
finance
get on
department.
Twitter where it's like, "Hey, my co-host submitted me to be in thing. Can you vote for that, please?"
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I remember when that first was popping off. I almost clicked one. I was very close because I never heard of it before. And then Makai, he went down.
It got
yeah,
caught.
it happened to him. It's still me again at OKC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
rich
man,
get richer.
yeah.
Rich get richer.
That's key after they won the Blue Jays tickets. Just losing his mind. Oh, Oklahoma City Thunder. Who are they going to pick, man? Who am I? Do I want to go front court? Do I want to go back court? What am I trying to do here? This is like a...
I know who I'd pick here.
Me too.
I know who
Yeah.
I'm picking for them. Let's lean into it, man. At pick 17, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Allen Graves, power forward out of Santa Clara University.
Oh.
Alrighty.
He is the analytical darling. He is the guy who makes waves and impacts no matter what. And he is the guy who, if you're going to bet on somebody shooting, he's not a bad bet at all. Although you'd love for there to be more volume there. If you're going to look at a team that has a lot of hyperactive guards and likes to play that way, a team that likes mobility but not too much out of their front court, and a guy who is capable of being protected while giving all of his in-betweener stuff, I do think that Allen Graves could fit in here. But this pick is more so seeing him as a vision of a wing, considering, who's been drafted already. And when we're looking at, we're looking at that front court, it's starting to get packed up a little bit. But this might mean that, Jalen Williams at some point isn't there anymore. This might mean that, they punt on one guy or another. This might mean that Sorber goes out. But Allen Graves, if they are in love with him, which I don't know if they are, Nesta says Kenrich Williams 2.0. That's a bad pick. If so sorry.
Yeah, this is very Dylan Jones coded. It's like, do they have an obsession with that body type? Just like
you're saying they're a little perverse. Okay, fair enough. But that's Allen Graves. Anybody else have thoughts?
Thank you, Sam Presti, for saving Bobby Webster.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yegor
Oh
Juman
my
once
God.
again. Yeah, Noah Senge.
Man.
insane.
Yeah, I think the Thunder are one team that makes sense. Like Santa Clara asked to play this like hyper aggressive style where they asked him to hedge really high, recover, utilize his instincts off the ball, and like he did get there and make the play and make the steals. His steal percentage was super high. And, like the Thunder asked their bigs and both their guards and all their guards to play this like super aggressive style as well. So it makes sense from a stylistic purpose.
Yeah. Abdel says Graves didn't pop as much as I wanted on film, man. I'm going to be honest, but I'd still take him fringe lotto, statistical profile, just so rare. It is a really rare statistical profile. He popped on tape to me, but I didn't know how to contextualize the fact that it was against lesser competition. That's where like the guys who watch a lot of prospects in different leagues have a much better time doing it. Graves scares me a little bit because I don't know how to contextualize him, despite so many things in his favor. Anybody else on Graves before we go back to you, S?
I like him. I know. I like him. I know
We
Trey
need
and
some
Nabeel are on
balance.
the
It's
other
good.
side. I like him.
Yeah.
I think he would be awesome. I think this is probably where his range begins with OKC with this pick. And, given where Charlotte is at, I think they could use a player like this with the 4. So kind of leading into this next pick, feels like this is a guy they could go after too. The Raptors might be interested in an analytically friendly type of player like that as well. The San Antonio Spurs are looking for a 4 to pair alongside Wemby. So there's like this glut of a group of teams that could go after Allen Graves that I think would be where his range is at. And I like him. I think he's cool. I think he provides a lot of different things that you could probably get from, admittedly, a role player, but maybe there's some juice for him to be better. Maybe there's a juice for him to eventually be a starter. And with that being said, with the pick for the Charlotte Hornets.
One sec. Let me cue up the music. And by the way, the I like him is kind of like French fry commercial.
The Charlotte Hornets select Cameron Carr. And I think this is just a bet on fit. Like, we know that Con Knipple and LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller are going to shoot 33s a game. But, hey, we're going to get Cameron Carr, who is also an elite shooter off of the ball, a wild athlete that LaMelo can get outlet passes to. This is a swing on fit. And while it might not be like perfect lineup wise to put LaMelo and Carr, who's like 6'5", a little bit skinny, out there with Con Knipple, you might have some defensive questions. There is no doubt that he's going to just like juice their offense to a crazy level. So it's a swing on fit. It's basically kind of like the type of player that they like to draft. And who did they draft earlier? Who did you guys get? Adai Mara, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and like, sure, Mara clean everything up for us. And maybe Cam Carr does end up becoming a good defender eventually once he fills out a little bit more. I guess it's banking on that aspect too. So Cam Carr for the Hornets.
Cam Carr. Anybody thoughts on Cam Carr before we get to the big moment?
Oh, I think if this happens, the Hornets have won the draft. You get your big that can help clean up some of the defensive concerns and rebounding concerns you have. You also get I know they're looking to move off of Miles Bridges, but this athletic finisher that can play in space with LaMelo Ball, and that is also a big time shooter. One of the huge things when Khan came off of the floor is that the same sort of presence and same sort of shooting and the style they want to play just isn't there on the court when you're playing Josh Green, for example. You have a guy like that off the bench, like it's cooking with gas.
All right. Trey, LeBaron gone, Carr gone. But all the same, we arrive at the Raptors. Pick 19, everybody. Let me tell you something. It's up to Trevon Heath.
I think you'll be surprised with the 19th pick overall. The 2019 NBA champions, Toronto Raptors, selects Dalen Swain out of Texas.
Yes.
Let's go.
Dalen Swain. I love this.
My God.
This is the player I've changed my mind on the most since doing the cycle. Big time highlight reel player. You see his dribble is somewhat next level, especially for his size and skill level. I think with Swain, why I'm willing to pick and bet on shooting improvement is, one, you see he's a really good worker. He came into college 175 pounds. He is leaving college 218 pounds. He's someone that has put in the work to build his body, and that is a good showing of how he's going to put in the work in the NBA to build his overall shot. Why I believe in the shot is that his touch around the rim has been some of the best in college. His free throw shooting has been in the 80s for far long in college basketball, and tons of reps because he gets to the rim so well. And his shooting from a pull-up perspective is actually better than his spot-up shooting, which is a good sign to show that he has the touch to shoot the ball. A lot of it, especially on the spot, is his mechanical skill. So that is going to take time. That is going to take development. But the Raptors, despite trading for Brandon Ingram, despite making a bunch of moves for veteran guys, do not dribble the ball well. Do not get into the paint well. You need a guy with size that will help with rebounding, which you missed out with BI when he was out the last two games of that playoff series, and a guy that can get to the rim and score. In the playoffs, you need guys that throw a little muscle to get into the paint, and Swain is going to do that.
Yeah. Abdel says Swain on the Raps makes sense from a rim pressure standpoint. Outside of RJ and CMB, a little he'd bring a level of penetration we don't have. That's exactly Swain is one of my favorite players for this option. We'll talk more about this at the end of the mock draft. We'll all talk about our favorites for number 19. But he is so athletic and he's not that athletic. I shouldn't oversell. He's very good at using the athleticism that he does have to punch and penetrate. He's clearly very comfortable with physicality. He has a want. He's a great cutter. He has a handle at his size. In a league that is starting to realize how important ball handling is, getting it at his size is really, really important. And I like betting on a jumper. The Raptors haven't had one hit in a while, so maybe it's finally time that it turned their way. I know, Nabeel, I know you like Swain. I'd like to go there with you.
Yeah, I had Swain on my every year. Like I don't really I don't cover the lotto guys as much because like there's tons of analysis on them, and like a lot of them end up being like really highly recruited guys out of high school. So like they're known commodities. Swain was a guy I saw. I mentioned off the top of my many draft misses, Colby Jones being one of them. Well, he was on that team. Dalen Swain was on that Xavier team with Colby Jones as a freshman, and he stuck out in the tape as just like this event creator on defense. This like really rangy wing that's got like some wiry strength to him and could handle a bit. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. This could be a guy worth keeping an eye on. And then his sophomore year, I think he had some either food poisoning or appendicitis. Something happened, but he lost like a metric ton of weight. I think he got down to like 180, 170 or something. And then he built himself back up slowly. got more on-ball reps, really improved his sophomore year, and then Texas fires their coach. Xavier's coach, Sean Miller, used to coach Arizona, goes and takes that job. Swain follows him to the transfer portal, as that's the era we're in now. And he bulks up, like Trey mentioned, to like 217, 218. And man, just like on a Texas team that was so devoid of shooting and like other good players, and in a really tough conference. Like I think the SEC, although it wasn't as good as it was like the year prior, I think it's the best conference in terms of like NBA, using it as a proxy for NBA caliber athletes and like size and length in general. And he just got to the rim at will, dished it out. I think the on-ball defense is a work in progress, but like as an event creator, as a grab-and-go transition guy, I think he'll thrive early on. And like I believe he'll be a fine catch and shoot guy. And it's just rare to get a dude at his size with his handle ability at this range in the draft.
Yeah. Gravity 333 says, is Swain Samson's guy like CMB last year? We need to know. I don't have a guy the same way as last year because we had such a smaller group to work with, so we got to do a lot more analysis, and I did like so much film work on CMB that I felt so confident. But Swain, with all that said, is my favorite option at 19. Swain can be my guy. He's also a guy that S has said he's liked as well, or at least tweeted once or twice.
He would also be my guy. I would be over the moon if Dalen Swain was the Raptors pick. And I want to shout out Taco Takes, who said, I remember Nabeel gassing Swain when he looked much rawer at Xavier. I was also questioning the defensive potential, but Nabeel actually sent over some Xavier highlights and YouTube stuff from him, and I watched that immediately, and I was like, oh, this does look like what role he might be able to play at an NBA level, especially early on. Yes, the shot is a swing factor. His ability to knock it down off of the catch. I think people have made the RJ Barrett comp because of his downhill ability, but I would also say even from an off-the-catch standpoint, I think he is one of those guys that will be streaky, but you can eventually trust him with. I believe in the off-the-catch jumper. You guys alluded to the pull-up stuff. He is tenacious at getting to the basket. He's very crafty, and he would arguably be the best ball handler on this Raptors team. So I think it's a no-brainer pick for them if Swain is available. That's my take on Dalen Swain. Yeah.
Nabeel, you got a little more?
No, I was just gonna say I think I appreciate the shout out, and like I think the different role. I know it's a headache with the transfer portal and all that NIL stuff, but I think one benefit is like you get to see these guys in different systems and like different roles, even if they just go back to college. Like Trey, you mentioned it, right? Like you would not feel as confident about LeBaron's defense if you didn't have the freshman year tape, right? You would, same with Swain, as you just mentioned it.
Yep.
Oh God, I'm sure there's someone else I'm forgetting in this job. But anyways, yeah, it's good.
Trey seeing 3 minutes of Jacoby High School defense and saying,
Exactly. But yeah, no, it's nice to have that older stuff to go back. CMB, sorry, that's who I was thinking of. CMB's freshman year, like he was just a play finisher, but like a really good one, and all the defensive stuff still flashed. So like it's like that's the role you see him in immediately NBA. But then like his sophomore year, it's like whoa. There's all this driving ability and self-creation, and so it's nice.
Further to the CMB thing is you mentioned it, unfriendly context to work in, difficult place to play, got to be muscly and burly to make things happen. You have to establish your physicality to create. That was the case for CMB in South Carolina. It's also the case for Swain in Texas. There's very mixed reviews from the chat on this guy, But Steve, he says all glory to God. If Raps are going to trade RJ, then picking Swain at 19 makes sense. I would trade Ingram and keep RJ. Whether you keep both of them or whether one goes, it doesn't matter. Swain can still fit on this team, is my contention. Martial Arts Fights says there's no way a 6'7" dude with handles falls to 19, to be honest. I would be a little surprised if he were there, but I'm glad that Trey made. Also, the Real Foil says, I wanted Sanak. You are in the minority. Sanak is not a very popular choice. I have to ask the round table here, guys. So now we're at 20 with the Spurs. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. Do we want to finish the first round? Is everyone? Are we talked out? Or do you guys want to continue? Does everyone got the stamina in them for a first round?
I'm a
and
casual
then discussing?
man. I'll follow you guys in the battle. Whatever we do.
Why not? Let's finish it off. I'm always happy to have Nabeel.
We could be quicker with it. Yeah, we got this.
Some people want to hear some names called too. I think like not hearing Ibuka, Corey, not hearing these names go up. Not even hearing Sanak or like Vesar or something like that. Maybe someone goes with Terrace Reed or something like that. 10 more picks, says Culture Coog. Okay, so you picked. That means it's on you, Nabeel. That means you're at number 20 with the San Antonio Spurs. You're building around the man, Wembanyama, the boy who immediately became a man on the biggest stage, Dylan Harper. What's it gonna be?
Man, this is tough. I'm gonna say with the 20th pick, San Antonio Spurs are going with Chris Sanak.
Okay.
Oh,
that's what I would have went with too, to be honest with you. With this board, kind of makes sense.
Let's zag a bit. Look, I think Sanak's offensive process is atrocious, but the Spurs are like Amazon making movies. Who cares if it's $200 million and it makes $5? This is free money for me. They're chilling.
That's true.
They can totally take this risk. And if it hits, great. You got a floor spacer next to Wemby, which is terrifying if you can develop that shot enough and it becomes consistent. But yeah, I think, look, Sanak's young. He's got great measurements, can rebound the hell out of the ball. It scares me. I get big Marquise Chris vibes with him for those that remember that player in that draft. Let's do it, baby. High upside. Why not?
If I can make the case, I think the Spurs are ready to buy offensive production, and I think they will buy offensive production, whether that's waiting on Fox or dealing him elsewhere, just like upgrading, whatever. They're going to spend money somewhere, and that means that a lot of their young guys aren't going to be in a position to immediately step into it. Having a guy like Sanak, who is going to take a little longer in the oven, actually probably is better for them, especially since there is a potential of a higher outcome. I wouldn't select Sanak in the top 20, but it's easy to see the rationale for why the Spurs would be in a good position to take that swing, considering the potential.
Yeah, I'd be terrified. 6'10" big and Houston didn't ask him to protect the rim. They asked him to be the secondary rim protector. It's just a terrible sign. And the fact I forgot Houston's coach's name, but the fact that he said Kelvin Samson made a poor he said that he made a poor decision going to the NBA, that he is not ready.
That's just funny. Like, I didn't even see
that. He called him Channing Frye, bro. He's like, he's gonna have a great career like Channing Frye. And I was like, wait, what?
Either he's the biggest hater we've ever seen, or he knows what he's doing.
Maybe he wanted him back. Maybe he was saying that he wanted him back. I agree. I would understand this pick if it was the Raptors, just from like the archetype that they hypothetically would need. But he is certainly a project, and a project that they would have to invest in. Maybe he actually doesn't end up becoming good until his second contract, that type of project. So it's okay for the San Antonio Spurs, who can deal with that for now. But yeah, tough.
All right. It's back to you, Nabeel. And also keep in mind, the city of Detroit, the Detroit Pistons, that is Trevon Heath's first ever credentialed NBA game. They treated him to a buffet. It's a great city with a great team, with a great PR situation. Okay?
They are.
You got to do right by them.
Please.
I love this from my brothers, my friends. I hope my brother Trevon loves this pick, because the 21st pick, the Pistons will select Christian Anderson.
Yeah.
Another one of Trevon's guys, another one of our friend Josh's his guys. He was in early. He was crunching that FIBA tape. I saw it. Look, I know the Bart screeners will come for me. I know Bennett Sturts is great. I like him a lot. I just prefer the upside of Anderson. quite frankly, I think his defense is really underrated, and we all know he shoots the hell out of the ball. And to get a pull-up shooter with this talent at this stage in the draft, I think is a home run. Excellent decision maker out of the pick and roll. The rim pressure obviously is a concern. The strength is a concern, but I think some of the rim pressure stuff will come with the strength. And like defensively, I think it's really underrated. I think there's a bit of technique stuff to clean up. And obviously I mentioned the strength on offense, the strength on defense will be a thing too. But look, man, I think that guy uses his length well, and I think he fights through screens well, and he really gives a shit. And let's give Cade another decision maker who can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that was the battle of Trey versus Kai. The usage in the backcourt of Detroit during the playoffs. You brought it up, Nabeel. Sturts being here, I'll be honest, I don't think Sturts is here in real life. Like, I don't think he's here tomorrow night. So.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Trey, Anderson is one of your favorite guys in this class. What do you think?
With picking Swain, I'd be scared that Anderson really pops in the shooting as some of the best in the league, because I think he's the best shooter in the class.
100%.
For Detroit, outside of Cade, there is little to no pull-up creation at all for the team. And having a guy that could spell his minutes, provide pull-up shooting, he's a better pull-up shooter than Cade, honestly, and still have playmaking ability to run an offense and organize a floor for some of their other guys, I think is a home run pick for them.
Is he better than Danish Jenkins, bro?
Man, he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong. Holy. Sometimes you see a guy and you realize, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, man.
This is Slow Moses from earlier being like, what the hell are these guys talking about? We're here again. Any thoughts on Christian?
We're here, man.
Christian Anderson would be awesome for Detroit. Clearly a talented shooter, arguably the best in his class. And yeah, like you guys said, it would just be an elite pick for the Pistons. I think if this is how the draft falls for them and they have Sturts and Anderson and Okori available, they are laughing. They're laughing.
100%.
Yeah, that's a very good draft board for them.
That's what Abdel says. He says Okori Anderson or Sturts here would be sick for Detroit. It's true. Next up is US with the Philadelphia 76ers. By the way, ESPN has
I think it's
Okori.
Oh, yeah, it is me.
Oh, shoot, yeah. By the way, the 76ers, they have or ESPN has mocked the 76ers to select Okori, which would mean that they had Okori, Maxey, and VJ in a backcourt, which is
crazy.
The smallest backcourt
Very
I can
small.
think of in some time. But Trey, it is to you. You're putting on the cap, brother.
The Philadelphia 76ers select Bennett Sturts. It's not the cleanest fit, but it's the best player by a large margin available to them. You would ideally want to get someone that could probably aid on the wing or the front court just in general. But Sturts is a guy that can help organize the floor. Both Maxey and VJ struggle in playmaking situations. You have a guy that can run pick and rolls with Joel and be able to give him really good looks in between, and a guy that can also be a secondary driver when VJ or Maxey is it on the floor. So it's a great McCain replacement, I think, for them.
Nabeel, any thoughts on Sturts out of Iowa?
Sturtsy.
Love this pick for them here. I think it's great value. I agree with Trey. Analytical darling, efficient as hell, on ball, off ball utility. Yeah, I think, look, touching on the Anderson thing just a little bit in comparison to Sturts, I think Sturts off ball is actually pretty decent. I think he's a pretty good defender, closes the speed and the gap well when a guy is sort of running through that screen off ball and he gets to the hip and is able to like close that speed quite well. But I think his point of attack, I mean, I know for all the things about effort and usage and like, oh, it was exhausting for him. He played so much, didn't come off the floor. Christian Anderson played 39 minutes a game and like was the offense for his team. And like, he still tried on defense, yet I don't see the same sort of concessions given to him as there were for Sturts. So just wanted to point that out as like why I also have that difference between the two. But Sturts offensively, home run, man. Decision-making, shooting, stamina, smart player. What else could you want at this slate? At the stage of the draft.
You interviewed him. What are your thoughts?
Nice dude. Comes from a great family.
Thick neck. Thick neck on that guy.
I heard a little Biden sneak in there a little bit.
Oh, that's funny. If I like didn't know I could do a Biden impression and just stumbled into one, that would be really fun. Sturts is cool. I would be shocked if the Sixers take them, to be honest with you, just because, like, one, I don't think he'll be here, and two, I think they would rather grab like a wing or a big to complement VJ and Maxey. But at this value, you got to take a guy like Sturts who can kind of like flow and match different lineups that you want to throw out there, whether he's playing next to VJ, off of VJ, etc. So I think it makes sense for the Sixers in that sense, and maybe it makes sense for the Raptors in that sense. So yeah,
This there's still guys here.
there's still
There's
guys.
still guys,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're at the helm right now, S.
Every
am.
tweet.
It's
Yeah.
you are the Hawks.
So I don't know if I'm just being like, too strict because of this mock. We picked Kingston Flemings with the 8th pick for the Hawks. I'm going to take
Yes.
a big here. I'm going to take Henry Vesar for the Atlanta Hawks. They did at one point trade for Kristaps Porzingis. And I think in that they wanted like a stretch big option, a guy who can kind of like do multiple things in pick and roll situations, and I think he can. He can stretch the floor very clearly, but I think he has the ability to him to be like just nasty and physical as well on the roll. He's also a monster in terms of size. I don't have his measurements here,
Big
but he's a
guy.
pretty big dude. So I would say Vesar, and like you're laughing here between Kingston Flemings and him because they kind of need a big guy. They have Onyeka Okongwu, who's 6'9" on a good day, Asa Newell, who's like 6'10" on a good day. You get like a different front court version here with him, who's like, I don't know, 7 feet tall, 7'2" or something like that. He would make a lot of sense for this team. He is 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan. I just pulled that up. There you go.
My only contribution is I've heard from like 7 different people who I respect about basketball who all believe that his jumper will be real deal for a big man at the next level. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
that's where I'm at with Vesar. And also big shout out to Mac, who was talking about him as a deep second round option last year, and obviously from Arizona to North Carolina has big upped his status among the draftees. Anybody else with a Vesar take?
I have a Vesar question. Let's say all of the bigs that we talked about are gone, and the Raptors are adamant in taking a big man at 19. Would you guys be shocked, sad, disappointment, whatever, if this is the option?
Vesar at 19?
Yeah, like let's say that feels crazy, I know, but let's say all of the options that they like is not available anymore.
That seems like statistically not possible.
yeah,
for me at least.
But let's say they just want a big. I don't know though. I
Like
don't
it'd
know.
be
I'm just
him or
saying.
Terrace Reed, basically.
Yes. If it's like
Just
him,
them
Terrace
to be-
Reed,
Ejiofor.
yeah,
I'd
and
be-
Ejiofor, yeah.
I wouldn't take Ejiofor over those guys, and I love Zuby. I really do. I just don't think he's a 5 long term. I think he's more of like you can throw him out as a small ball 5. I'd be happy with a Vesar pick. I'd be fine with it. I think my biggest gripe with him is similar to not like it's the physicality. Like I think like be a little soft on the interior at times. But man, like if you guys have the ability to, or whoever is listening, when Caleb Wilson broke his thumb and was out, watch the games where Vesar was basically their guy. Like he took over the big to big passing, the handling, the spacing. I'd get it. I wouldn't be mad.
Okay. I'm happy to move on then. It's 2 picks in a row for myself. I am the defending champs. I am the New York Knicks. It's me. And I select at this point. Don't put logos on the screen with what's in the top right. I don't think, yes. Honestly, I don't think you're supposed to.
Don't
And
worry,
I-
it's like a
Malik Thomas to the New York Knicks.
Ooh.
I think
Wow.
it fits incredibly well. I think you look at what they brought onto their team and what they plan to have supplementing their big guys going forward. They brought in Jordan Clarkson. They have Jose Alvarado. They have Deuce McBride. It's clearly they want ball pressure in their guy next to Brunson. It's clear that they want shooting, and it's clear that they want some ball handling. And also, if Malik is a guy who will take a little bit to cook in the oven as far as like becoming a point guard potentially, or at least a decent combo in the future, sitting behind these guys, or at least a couple of them, I think it's a really great fit. And it probably, if he hits right away, it allows you to make some really, I think, important decisions. And if it doesn't hit, then they just go and do some other stuff, I guess. But Malik Thomas, I think that's a great option for them because they might get priced out of some of these guards that they have as veterans soon. Nabeel, you look like you're happy as hell over there.
Brother, I'm close to coming over, hitting that buzzer, and having you buzz me up to your unit, man. Join me on Malik Thomas Carnival ride, whatever. I love Malik. I have him in my I've made a personal Raptors board, and he's in my tier 1 of like highest upside. If it hits, I would consider him at 19 for the Raptors too. Look, the decision, like the shot decision making and both the playmaking decision making was erratic for sure. But this is why like it's rewarding to watch the season in full and see guys improve. And I don't think anyone improved as much throughout, or not many improved as much as he did throughout the season, especially once you got to conference play. His assist to turnover ratio skyrocketed, and the decision making was better. You saw the secondary playmaking. He flashed some self-creation as well, getting to the rim. The volume wasn't there, but like there's a requisite handle. He's an unbelievable shot maker. I think the defense is criminally underrated. That guy has a motor, and he gets really skinny over screens. And I think he really competes off ball. And yeah, man, I'm a big Malik Thomas fan. I think he'd be a lottery pick if he went back to college and got the usage. So getting him here, I'd be ecstatic if I were the Knicks.
Yeah. Would be, and also when James was on the podcast, he comped him to Jordan Clarkson, but it was like, think about Jordan Clarkson's tools, but better decision making, you know?
I had Leandro Barbosa with
that
like
a
little bit. Yeah. Like watch Barbosa highlights and then watch Thomas move. And it's like, oh, you kind of see it.
Yeah. A quick answer to Culture Coug. Have y'all talked about any second round prospects for the Raptors? We talked about Trevon Brazil, who probably won't be there. There's a couple that are, if the Raptors purchase a second rounder, Baba Miller, Nick Boyd, Cashy Nat, Onyensa, and that's as far, and Terrace Reed is also, but he probably won't make it either. And Jaron Pierre as well. So those are names. That's probably enough on Malik Thomas. It's back to me for the Los Angeles Lakers. Wow, I'm just the primetime teams. I tell you what, the Los Angeles Lakers select Terrace Reed.
Wow.
And that's who they're rocking with.
I like it.
I think he's a pretty great upside swing. I know that there's like, you might think that Luka Doncic is going to be handling too much of the ball for him to be in a great position to become his full self going forward. But I think that especially with another guy, like their deeper selections matter, and a lot of their deeper bench guys have been pretty limited lately. Like Adu Thiero, we love what he does, but in terms of like having an expansive game, it's not something I expect. So I think Reed will bring a decent amount of that. Anybody else have any thoughts on Mr. Reed?
He's kind of like a Sorber variant, like he went to UConn, but what Sorber was Georgetown, right? Am I correct on that? Yeah.
The big man university.
Yeah, but he kind of has a little bit of that to his game in the sense that like he can create and like be a bit of a quote unquote passing hub, if you will. I think that would be a cool part of his game to use with Luka. But yeah, they need a big. The Lakers need a big, and I would say he's probably the best big available right now.
All right. Anybody else before we go back to S? Selecting at 26.
Take it away, S.
Adu Thiero shout out. Don't mind if I do. Yes?
I'll take it. Okay. With the 26th pick in this draft, the Denver Nuggets are going to take Joshua Jefferson with this pick. I think
My guy.
Aaron Gordon is very, very important for this team. Very important. But they need a guy who can kind of be another 4 for them when Aaron Gordon is not on the floor. And so Joshua Jefferson is like a power forward-ish sized player. He can shoot the ball well, which is very, very crucial to playing alongside Nikola Jokic. He will get him some easy buckets as well. I think this is just like a nice swing on, truthfully, a guy who will be a role player, but probably a very good role player for the Denver Nuggets. So Joshua Jefferson, Nuggets.
Nabeel, it's your time to shine. People wanted Joshua talked about, and I said Nabeel will be on to talk about him. So you're here, brother.
Look, I like a lot of guys in this draft, but I got 3 sons who I feel like I was on the ground floor for their come up. That's Jacoby Gillespie, that's Josh Jefferson, and that's Dalen Swain. I had Jefferson on my board last year. I'm a huge fan, man, and like I'll start the Allen Graves slander a little bit now, but look, because I think they're interesting comps because Josh Jefferson came from St. Mary's 2 years ago, which is in the same conference that Santa Clara is in. And then he transferred up to Iowa State and played there for the last 2 years in the Big 12. Look, I'm not that high on Graves, and I think that like my arguments, as like a very cheeky argument, it's like, all right, like if Allen Graves closer to Lotto or like in the teens, but like why not just trade back and take Josh Jefferson? And look, if I'm back on the pod tomorrow for the live stream at some point, I can talk about my Graves grievances there. Maybe he'll be a Raptor by then, and then we can have a real interesting discussion. But Josh Jefferson is an elite processor. Look, that guy's built like a brick shit house, man. He's 246 pounds, and he does not look it. Density, baby. He's got the density. He's strong as shit. He had a 27.7 assist percentage per perfect this season. That you just do not see that in guys of his size. He can operate out of the mid post, the elbow. He ran pick and rolls. He runs delay actions. He's like out of horns for Iowa State. He's like tailor made to play in the NBA. The issue is, do you trust the shot? Do you believe it? Shot 35% on 6 threes per 100 possession, 3 per 100 per Bartorvik this year. So like, he's around like a 70-ish free throw shooter, 70% free throw shooter. So like, you kind of do, if the shot doesn't come along, then he'll be very matchup dependent. But if he's a 36% shooter in the NBA on like 4 or 5 attempts a game, brother, that's a playoff rotation player. I have no doubt in my mind.
Trey, it's to you, brother. You are the Boston Celtics.
I think we forgot about this player, so
we didn't. All
right, the Boston Celtics select Abuka Corey.
Yep.
If they land Abuka Corey after, this would probably likely be the Bucks pick, maybe if it's Giannis. But if they are able to land Abuka Corey this late into the draft, you have a chance to find your actual starting guard that's going to be beside Derek White or Peyton Pritchard for the long term. The Celtics have had a hard time of finding dribble penetrators for a very long period of time. Abuka Corey is the best one, I think, in the entire class. If his shot holds up in the league, like he's going to be in redrafts a top 10 player in this class pretty easily.
Yeah. I'll also add on top of this is a mock draft, not a big board, and the decision making is split amongst 4 people.
Yeah.
Sometimes this is how it shakes out. Abuka Corey, he's dynamite. I think he goes before this, but if he doesn't, Boston is going to be, if they are the team picking, they're going to be licking their daggum chops. Also, by the way, if I can I just got a message, as happens during this time, between you and me, Raptors like blank at 19th via agency, guys. And then I get the shh emoji afterwards.
I'll drop what I'm down to drop what I know, but it's independent from your sources.
Little source off.
Wait. We can do this during the favorites part.
Yeah.
We're still mock drafting Abuka, Corey. Does anybody else have any quick thoughts? We should speed through the rest.
I'll speak
Corey
through
to
my
the
picks.
Celtics. Anybody? Any other thoughts on Corey? Trey hit the nail on the head.
Great.
Yeah. All right.
I love it. High
pick.
upside development guy. Don't need the.
You're on the clock, Nabeel.
All right. Minnesota Timberwolves, 28th pick. We're gonna go. You know what? Let's get funky, man. Let's go Koa Pete. Why not?
Wow.
Randall might be gone. You want the Chat GPT draw me Julius Randle and sort of spits out this after it hallucinates a bit? Why not? Look, I think his shot's a disaster. We can just get that out of the way now, but like he does a lot of good things on the court. Like he makes really good decisions. He defends. He's really strong. He rebounds. I think he's a bully, man. He's just a bully, and he does not look like a freshman out there. And like, I get it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not even my cup of tea. But like at this late in the draft, like you can't go wrong if you're the Wolves. I mean, why not take this flyer, take the swing?
Cup of Pete.
Jeez. I was talking to Josh about Pete other day, and I thought he was like a second or third year player because I'd heard his name for so long, and he was like, no, he was the guy kind of like Seventh Woods who we've been hearing about forever. So firstly, I'll congratulate Pete for getting to this moment, because a lot of those guys don't actually end up here getting the millions. There's a lot of guys who flame out in college. So shout out to him. That's my thoughts on him. Any other Koa fans? Anything?
I'm a fan. I think he's too strong, too big to fail in the NBA. Guys who are that athletic, guys who are that big, find their way in the NBA. Whether that's being like energy rebounder off the glass, being a high level defender. I think he has too many tools to not make it work.
Yeah. All I will say is that the Toronto Raptors should stay away.
Yes, please.
Do not draft Koa Pete.
I'd be upset, yeah.
Does not make sense. Needs to go somewhere that makes sense, and that does not make sense. That's all I'll say.
All right. Nabeel, you are the Cleveland Cavaliers. Can you save this expensive team at 29?
Brother. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
There is one
Let's
guy
end this mock, man.
There is one guy that we haven't picked that like has consistently gone higher than this in the mocks.
Is it Zuby? Because that's where I was gonna go.
No. Another. He's an international guy.
Oh, De La Rey.
Oh yes.
I have not watched
Lopez.
Not De La Rey. Different international.
Kareem
guy.
Lopez. Yeah.
Kareem Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you like to share your thoughts from the other day on Kareem Lopez? Yes.
No.
Nabeel, you'll take Zuby Ejiofor?
Zuby at 29 for the Cavs. A bruiser, unbelievable character, work ethic guy, makes good decisions with the ball. I think he reminds me of Nene, honestly. For those of you who are old, my age, who was what?
We're all your age, bro.
I'm talking to the streets, the chat, the casuals and the commoners like me, man. We watched Nene on the Nuggets, but yeah, no, I think really physical. I think he'll be able to switch. Honestly, I think he can stay in front of wings. Some two guards, I don't think he'll be able to switch onto ones, but like, he can take it off the dribble a little bit. Just like jack of all trades, I think master of none, and just like built for playoff physicality. I think he'd fit well with the Cavs, what they want to do.
All right, the Cavaliers. Zuby Ejiofor. He has been talked about on the podcast mostly as cannon fodder to describe Quainton's dominance when he played him. But also Jake Allman, he described him mostly as like an energy big, more or less. And at 29, energy bigs can go. But then again, some people get a Nas Reed there. Trey, it's you selected for the Hornets, you selected for the Raptors, and you're closing out this draft.
So
the
proud of
Dallas Mavericks.
Cup is full. Masai Ujiri's Dallas Mavericks select Richie Saunders from
Wow.
Wow.
I love it.
I'm a big fan. I'm hoping his injury gets him down to 50 or close enough for the Raptors to have a chance of getting him. He's a big time shooter on tons of volume. He plays like a professional player. He runs off a screen super hard. He takes advantages, extends them, brings them into the paint. He's turnover adverse. He can make live dribble reads, and that is exactly what a guy like that coming off the bench will be asked to do in the NBA. It's why guys like Max Strus get paid a lot of money and have an actual NBA career. It's why a guy like Duncan Robinson is able to be impactful in a playoff series, like despite not being able to.
Grady Dick. No, I'm just kidding.
He is like Grady Dick, but like better as a shooter. I think.
Larger sample size.
Yeah. So he does a lot of the same things. Why I liked Grady as a player and as a defender. He's a good enough team defender where he is able to be in rotation and he won't hurt you. So he would be a home run for the Raptors in round 2, but I don't think he'll be there.
Yeah.
Listeners, viewers, I can't tell you the harm that the Grady Dick miss on analysis has done to this group of men. It has destabilized.
It has.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
shaking us to our core, really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when the U.S. government was dropping Animal Farm in on like other countries, being like, I hope this book changes it, brother. Or like 1984, that's what the Grady analysis has come out on. That's the first round. That's pretty good. Everyone happy with that? How are we feeling?
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Trey, I got one Richie Saunders comp for you.
Oh, please.
Carlos Delfino.
Raptor. Great Raptor.
Raptor legend. Yes.
Young Delfino could get up there too. He could throw it down.
No sleep.
Yeah. Just like great, Yeah. Anyways.
Man, the when he dunked on who was it? Peyton Watson. Well, he blocked Peyton Watson. Anyway, we don't need to relive that.
That was one of the greatest Grady games of all time.
It was a big one.
I'll remember that.
Yep. Okay, we should. Phoenix Plays He says, was Grady's Masai's or Bobby's pick? Bobby will let us know that it was Masai's in short order.
Depends what PR agency's on the other end, baby. You tell me.
Okay, so now is the part of the podcast where we say our 3 favorite guys at 19. Trey, I wonder if yours has changed because of who you picked at 19, but and we don't have to go long on the guys, but who are your favorite 3?
I would say Phylon still. I think he's a tier by himself of who I want. More people have jumped on this train, which gives me pause, but I'm just going to believe. But I'm going to believe in myself.
I'm sorry,
buddy.
I'm sorry, bro.
It's all right. Second, I'll offer 2 other guys that I haven't spoken about. Just add it to the pot of lists that people can make fun of me for. I would say outside of those guys, Isaiah Evans, who we didn't pick, would be a logical pick. Big time shooter with size that the Raptors truly need, and will be a good enough defender where that is an okay pick at 19. Yeah. And then after Evans, I think a guy that I actually would really like. I know we spoke about Quaintance a bit already, so that would be fine. Would just be Joshua Jefferson. I'm a big fan as well. He does all the things that Alan Graves does, but with actual size and competition. So I'd be a fan of that.
Can you list your guys then in order of preference?
Order of preference?
Not included. Like mention everybody that you like.
Yeah, all the guys you like. Yeah. Don't, because if you end up saying like Evans, and then people think, oh,
Fair enough. I would go in order of my guys. I would go Phylon 1. I would go Cameron Carr 2. I've switched to before the podcast we had. I was debating between Swain and Anderson. I would say Swain 3rd, Anderson 4th, and then I think 5th in terms of like what's realistic, probably Jaden Quaintance. And then after that, I think if none of those 5 are on the board, the Raptors are probably in trouble. I'd be looking to probably trade down.
Yeah.
There you go. I'd like to swing it to you. You can't list 14 guys either. It's 3 or 5.
You know what? I might be a little disappointing here because I have the exact same guys as Trey, but different order. I have Phylon, I have Swain, I have Carr, I have Anderson, and the fifth guy would probably be Jaden Quaintance, but I would be over the moon for one of Merez Johnson or Hans Steinbach too, who I just don't think they would be available at 19. So it's hard for me to put them on there, but like I don't know. I would be very happy with Swain at 19. I think he would be a really additive piece for their offense. So that's kind of like the main guy that I would throw out, but same group of players. So kind of boring there. Sorry.
So Swain I think we all really like Swain. We didn't.
Yeah.
Do we all really like him to Trey's point because we didn't discuss him that much and he doesn't get that much buzz online. So we're trying to. you don't want the popular pick. Oh man, yeah. CMB saved my life. During training camp, I tweeted there's a picture of CMB and Gray together, and I was like, my reputation rests with these two. Jeez, thank the Lord. Nabeel, who are your favorite guys?
Phylon, Anderson, Sturt, Swain, Quaintance, I think would be my top 5. Yeah.
First Sturt's mentioned, by the way. I should mention. In terms of like top 5, I guess,
I like Sturts. I just prefer the upside
Fine
of
player.
Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I'm the same way.
Okay, mine. Swain is my favorite. I'm trying to. I'm really don't know where to put Quaintance in my. And like Hans, I love Hans. Hannes, there's just no way he's there.
Yeah.
If he's there, I redact everything Hannes. But Swain is my favorite. Probably go Quaintance, Phylon, and then Sturts and Ibuka can fit wherever they want there. But Anderson, I don't know what it is about Anderson. He didn't fit for me. And Chris Brishan says no more hiding.
No more hiding.
Come out, Warriors.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's out there now. Those are the guys I really like. There's so much overlap between everybody here.
Yeah.
And which is funny because we've spent so much time disagreeing with each other and we still arrived at all, a similar place. Yeah, I guess, does anybody have, I guess we talked about all these guys, like a decent amount.
Do we do the source off for the Raptors, Samson?
No, my guy said, do not talk about it. He said, do not mention his name. So I will not be burning this bridge. However, if you'd like to flex, the floor is yours, Nabeel. Nabeelians.
It's not a flex, man. Look, I'm the only person on this panel that's never been to an NBA-sanctioned event as a media member. I'm a casual, common fan. I speak for the people. I have no sources or inside information on the Raptors or anything affiliated with that team. But in the years of doing the Twitter sphere thing, you hear some things.
You're very. I will say you are so good at connecting dots, and so you're the connect daughter.
It's always sunny, man. That the whiteboard with the string and gotta do it now. Okay, so again, like I'm all jokes aside, like full disclosure, I'm not an insider. I don't know anyone on the freaking team.
You already disclosed this. Just start, please. Come on.
I'm just CYA, brother. CYA, man. All right. After the combine, I was told that the Raptors really love Sturts. And then a little bit after that, I was told that I have no idea what order it's in, but their board looks something like Sanak, Sturts, Anderson, and Carr. Now look, none of this is confirmed, and this is not coming from the team side. This is just what I heard. Take it how you will. It is what it is. This is almost certainly wrong, and it'll be no one we're thinking of, man. We're picking freaking Pete. Okay,
Sanak would be crazy though.
But now you talk about the dots. Now it's worth mentioning Sanak and Carr, I think, are both with WME, so like same agency as Scotty, Grady, RJ. I know for a fact, I mean, it's online, like it's on Twitter. The Raptors were at that Baylor-Iowa State game earlier this year. And like they've scouted all these prospects, man. They don't report it all the time, but like they go everywhere.
Sanak also leaked that he worked out with the Raptors. I don't know if you saw on his Snapchat. He did.
Right. Yeah. And I don't think anyone, either in the Hoops Hype Draft Track or anyone, actually reported that Sanak had worked out with us, or maybe they did. Maybe I missed it, but so that was the board. That's what I was told. Okay, and then like this Grave stuff started coming out. And, you know, like I heard Vicini's pod, you read his mocks, you read the mocks. I think no one's really said that, like, the Raptors love him. It's more just like, oh, like he's an analytics darling and they're analytically inclined. What I understand about Graves is that his agent's been going around saying that they have a promise or two in the top 20, and people are just speculating that one of them is the Raptors.
Oh, you're no longer, you're muted right now, I think.
Also, Samson, your mic got disconnected.
What the hell is going on?
2-hour pod.
2-hour pods.
Wait, you can hear me now, surely, right?
So much. Yes, you're back.
Yeah,
you're
Nabeel is muted right now.
Dude, honestly, the higher powers are muting him. He's spilling too much. He's giving out too much information.
Got his ass.
They got him, man. They hacked his laptop.
Nabeel, you have to go to your
He muted himself.
You muted yourself. Samson, you're muted now.
Yeah, MLSC
They made the call. Holy. Right. Oh, my goodness. Who made the call? The call is coming from inside the house. All
right. Okay, we know the Raptors pick.
Yeah, I guess it is Allen Graves.
Well, hello everybody. Yeah, Ed is in the software. Ed Rogers said stop. It is kind of funny when this happens, you know. Nabeel, are you back in?
Am I muted or no?
Okay, you're back in. You're no longer muted. Okay. Do you have anything else?
Where did it cut off? I don't even know.
You said the analytically inclined Grave stuff is
yeah. I mean that's all I have. The Grave smoke, I don't know like if it's true or not. I don't even know if he's worked out for the Raptors. I don't think that's been reported anywhere. I have no clue if he did or not. All I would say is for the Raptors, look, we know they go best player available. So if all of that's true, then I guess my expectation would be it's one of those four guys. And if those four guys are off the board, then maybe it is Graves. But, like, who knows? I'm not an insider, guys.
You're kind of doing the thing where it's like you rap and then you're like, but I'm not a rapper. You know? It's like
I'm a child of the OG YouTube content creator generation.
Yeah. I see.
Okay. What am I going to say here? Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to flash it quick. This, I was told. That's what I was told.
The state of Iowa?
That was too fast, man. By the way,
wow.
We don't know if that's true. We don't know if that's true. But S, have you heard anything?
The only thing I heard is very similar to what Nabeel said about the analytically inclined thing and that Graves' range and where it starts. Other than that, nothing really from the Raptors side of things. I know that there is a chance for there to be a lot of movement at the NBA draft. And so how does that impact the Toronto Raptors? OKC is going to try to move up. Charlotte might end up moving one of their picks. The Grizzlies might end up moving one of their picks. There's just going to be a lot of opportunity. And so what does that mean for the Toronto Raptors? I also think there's a couple of inflection points at the NBA draft. Like the Hawks pick is an inflection point. If they go big versus guard, that might set up the rest of the draft to be guard heavy or big heavy. Just like a couple things to kind of keep in mind as you're watching the draft tomorrow is to see where these inflection points are. The Clippers are also another inflection point where they will go. Source-wise, I got nothing for you. Nabs mogged me.
Yeah. I'm not going to swing it to Trey because he's basically just going to do what Nabeel did.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I don't know anything. I'm just a guy. Yeah, I'm just
I literally am.
I will say,
enjoyed the game.
Canada what says, please be smoke. I will say, I will add for everybody. The big thing here, so when Grady got drafted, it could definitely be smoke. It, of course, could be smoke. I would never give a guarantee of any kind. And even if you do get a guarantee, if it were from Bobby or Dan or whatever, things can change. Things are fluid. Prerequisites. I went on Sportsnet the night Grady got drafted, and I was like, Grady's worked out twice, I've heard. They brought him for a second, Heard about Mobo and Shamshay. Had no idea about Walter. Had no idea about CMB, despite loving him. Had no idea about Shed. All this kind of stuff. It's tough to know, and there's a bunch of stuff out there. But we've all been hearing similar things, it sounds like. Trey, do you have any thoughts before we get out of here?
I just think this is our 4th draft that we've done together. These guys are on our very first one, and we've done it for 4 years now. I just think it's incredible to do it with my friends at 9 p.m. at night, and wouldn't change this for the world.
2 hours of it, too.
Yeah,
we've had disconnected microphones. We've had the black SUVs roll up. We've had everything. Nabeel, anything you want to say before we get out of here? A 2-hour pod for yourself. I hope the mic got as much work as you wanted it to early on.
It did, man. And I don't know if you heard the knock at the door just now, but I'm pretty sure it's. I don't know if the mic picked that up, but I'm pretty sure it's guys in suits just waiting outside. Just waiting outside for me. No, this was a pleasure, guys. This was a blast. Excited that the draft's tomorrow. It's always a fun time right after the finals, and being able to do this with you guys. And hopefully I can pop in for a bit tomorrow and chat it up, and we'll see what's good. And man, I'm looking forward to it. I hope everyone enjoys the draft however they usually enjoy it. Brother,
not only do I have you roped into tomorrow night, you're coming on for round 2 as well. I need somebody to help me fill.
He's the round 2 guy.
Yes. Yeah. I got to get you and Mac on here, and Josh if you'll deign to come on with us. Okay. By the way, Miles Turner rumors. Is anybody? So obviously Jakob for Miles straight up. There's less money there. There's probably an easier fit in some sense, and CMB and Scotty do help shore up some of the stuff that Miles is truly shite at. And Miles is a unique big man. He's probably not going to help guys like Emmanuel quickly very much, but he would help the Raptors lean further into the Scotty of it all. I like it from that perspective. However, I do not like it if the Raptors are giving up anything of consequence. I don't think the shift from Jakob to Miles is worth that. Is anyone here a Miles proponent with the Raptors?
I mean, I agree with you in terms of the cost. I wouldn't even do it if 19 is included. You know, like that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like if it's like Pirtle, Grady, and 19 for Miles, no. I would rather just deal with Jakob Pirtle and see how he looks next season. Because I agree that Miles, like the 3-point shooting, that could help. And to your point about it making life easier for Scotty, it also kind of makes life easier for CMB and that pairing together. But not enough for me to make that swap. I don't think so.
Trey, you're a huge Scotty believer. Jamaica to the moon.
Greatness.
What do you think about giving him Miles Turner to work with?
I do want proof of concept to see if a spacing big with CMB and Scotty will work and what that looks like if CMB is a full-time starter with him. But they don't have enough assets to warrant picking 19. The only thing I could see being viable is if Giannis is a Celtic and the Raptors trade down from like 19 to 27 to get that done. And even then I'd be like, the last time we did this, it didn't work out that well. I'd rather just like stick and pick.
Nabeel, any thoughts?
Yeah, if it costs a pick, I'm not down to do that. Or anything of consequence like you mentioned. But I mean, stylistically, I can see the fit. Man, I'd miss Yak screening for sure if that were a deal that went down. But
RJ would too, man, and IQ.
Yeah, 100%. I think and then like look, I know the back tainted some stuff, but like man, Yak still got good hands and he still finishes stuff. So
I would much rather personally believe in Yak coming back after having a summer off and being, a quality starting big than I would putting stuff on top of him for my. I think that would be the move of a desperate team, in the same way that the Bucks were a very desperate team to go grab Miles, and especially since it ended up costing them like $55 million because of waiving Dame as well. So it just.
Yeah.
The Raptors should be in a position where you want to hit the big ones, of course, but they should be really picky right now because they have a team that can coast and do some things, and they will look at their young guys and this 19th pick, trying to take them to the next level, but they don't have to force anything. If it's a star, it's a star, but you don't have to force anything. Yep. And Yak will come back, Brandon will come back, RJ will come back. If nothing else happens, and all of these guys have a chance to be better next year. Scotty does too. If you have a star, you have a star, but otherwise, yeah. Phoenix plays Z, brother. I'm telling you right now, this makes me so happy. S tweeting mid podcast.
Haaland score a goal. It was really nice.
Yeah,
bro, I've walked out of a movie theater with S and gotten three analysis tweets of like a game up, man. Best in the business, man. Best in the business.
Shadow Rider says, is Nabeel Northside Nabeel? No, Nabeel is Pack Attack 94. He's Pack Attack 94 on Twitter. I'll put his stuff. Actually, I'll give you his. I'll go find his Twitter and I'll put it in the bio.
Going up crazy.
But, S, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, nothing too substantial. I think we've kind of hit the hammer over the head type of thing. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes deep. We've gave you guys a mock draft of all 30 picks. We've talked about our favorite guys. We've done it all. This was a pleasure. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun to do. So
you're not gonna call in from like your cell phone tomorrow night from Chicago,
dude. If I wasn't hosting the entire thing, I would 100%. I'd step out and react, but I can't. I wish I could, especially if it's Alan Graves, just to like laugh at Nabeel, just to like laugh at him. But yeah, that would be elite.
I'll buy his jersey, bro. I legitimately will order that and wear it in Maple Leaf Square when he comes out of the van for his intro presser and embrace it if he's the pick.
Wow.
All right, everybody. That seems like a podcast. There probably aren't enough likes yet. So before you exit, like the video. It helps other people see it, and it's a free way of saying thank you to us for talking for 2 hours. If you feel so inclined, that's Trevon Heath. That is Nabeel Khatak. That is Esfendi Arberahini. I am Samson Folk. We have done a podcast for 2 hours. Whether you got into this in the morning or at night, from all of us, thank you very much. Have a blessed day, and goodbye.